Hi there. In this short video, I'm going to give you a quick introduction to the reports library in Google Analytics 4. So we're in Google Analytics 4. We've come in on the home menu and we're going to click on reports to go to the reports section. So you can see we've got these different selection of reports down the left hand side, and we've got this library that sits at the bottom. So just to explain what we're looking at here, Google structures its reports into what it calls collections. And we've got two collections here, life cycle and user. And in each collection, there's a subsection. So we've got acquisition, engagement, monetization, and these are themed groups of reports. So you'll see there's a common structure. So we've got a group of reports that relate to our acquisition on our website, and it starts with an overview. So the overview is going to be just a series of these cards. Each one of these blocks is called a card, and it's picking up some of the key metrics that it thinks that I might be interested in when I'm trying to understand the acquisition on my website. I've shown you in another video how you can customize, so you can remove cards and add cards to this report. So there's a high degree of customization possible in Google Analytics 4. So the acquisition folder, if you will, starts with the overview, and then there's two more detailed reports that sit underneath that actually dig into the numbers in a bit more depth. And again, you can customize these as well. If we drop down the engagement menu, you'll see you've got the same structure. We've got an overview that picks up some cards that summarize key metrics as they relate to engagement with the website. And then underneath that, 4 more detailed reports. So this structure, the collection is life cycle, and within that you've got these folders: acquisition, engagement, monetization, and then this retention report. And each one of these folders has the same structure: an overview report and then a more detailed report, a series of more detailed reports underneath. And all of this is controlled by this library that sits at the bottom. So let's just click on that. So we're in the library, and we can see across the top here, we've got our collections. So the life cycle collection, as I just talked about, is what controls this life cycle section on the left hand side. So you can see acquisition, engagement, monetization, and retention are echoed: acquisition, monetization, engagement, monetization, and retention. So if I wanted to play around with that and take some things out or add some things in, I could click edit collection. Same with user. So user is down here at the bottom. There's 2 sections: demographics and tech, demographics and tech. Or I can start a new collection. So if I want a group of reports that relate to some specific aspect of my website that I'm interested in, I can do that as well. So I can create a whole new collection and add existing reports to it, or I can create new reports and add those to existing collections or to my new collection. So there's a lot of possibilities in terms of how you can customize what you see within Google Analytics. So down at the bottom here are all the reports that are available to me at the moment. So it's showing me 15 out of 19. So what we're seeing here basically summarizes what we would be seeing in these different sections up here. So these are all the reports that are available as standard. So for each report, it's going to tell us ones that I've created. So you obviously wouldn't see this in your setup until you've created some yourself. But the standard ones, so let's look at user acquisition, for example. So we can see that the report is called user acquisition. It's using the template that already exists of the user acquisition report. It sits in the life cycle collection, and there's a little description to explain to us what it is. And so again, everything that you can see down the left hand side is listed here, the different reports. And each one of these, if you click on the more actions, you can edit it, you can make a copy, you can rename it, whatever you like. You'll see that there are two little different types of icons here. So where you see this little collection of squares, these are the overview reports. And where you see the columns, this is the more detailed reports. And this relates to the structure that I explained here, where you have an overview report and then you have more detailed reports. So I can create a new report just by clicking on create new report, and it says to me, do you want to create an overview report or do you want to create a detailed report? So let's quickly look at overview report to start with. So this is relatively straightforward. You have a blank canvas that you can play with, and the overview report, as you will remember, is just a series of cards that summarize key metrics for you. So you just literally add cards. If you click on that, it shows you all the cards that are available, and I can just pick summary cards, and then there are some others, more detailed cards. So anything that I'm interested in, say I want to see this one, and I don't know, this one, and click add cards. There they are, appearing in the report, and I can save that, and then it's available to me to add into either an existing collection or new collection if I want to. I'm not going to do that for the moment, so I'm just going to discard that and go back. So this time, when I click create a new report, I'm going to create a detail report. So here you have the option of starting from scratch with a blank canvas, or you can start using a template of one of the existing reports. I am going to start from scratch. And here's my blank canvas for my untitled report. So the reports all have the same structure. You need to add a dimension, at least one dimension and one metric. So the dimensions are the rows and the metrics are the columns. So if I click on, it offers me what's available, and I can search or I can scroll through this list. So I'm going to start by building a report that shows me the default channel group. So I add my dimension and I click apply. And you can see it's added this here over on the left-hand side. Now I need a metric. So let's say, and it won't, you'll see some of these grayed out. So it will only offer you things that actually make sense against the dimensions that you've selected. So here, let's say I'm interested in seeing my conversions by channel group. I add conversions and I click apply. And there it is, it shows me the data. I've got these charts. So I've got this line chart and this bar chart. If I decide that I don't want the bar chart, for instance, just turn that off. And I could create a summary card from this report if I wanted to. So I'm not going to do that now, but you have the option of creating your own cards, which you can then add into your overview reports. But for now, I'm happy with this as it is. And so if I were to click save, then this report would be added into my list of reports that I could then add into any of the collections, either an existing collection or a new collection. So as I say, I'm not going to do that for now, but you can see how it is possible. So I'm going to discard those changes and go back to the main interface. So any reports that I create would start to appear in this reports menu. And as I said, you can add them into collections. So one of the things that's quite nifty about GA4 compared to Universal Analytics is you really can customize all of these reports that you see. You're not restricted to what it thinks you're interested in. You can really play around and add in any other reports that you might be interested in, tailored to your own particular requirements.